you feel like there's some solid particles in it. That's how thick it is. And the legs are still running down the glass and extremely visible. It's kind of crazy how thick and viscous it is. Welcome to Whiskey and SV. I'm your host Sam, and tonight we're going to be drinking some 13th Colony bourbon. So it's been a long week, and you've worked hard, and time to unwind with a nice bourbon. And what better a nice bourbon than the 13th Colony Double Oaked? If you have been following my channel, you know that the first time I tried the 13th Colony Double Oaked Batch 2, it was actually my favorite bourbon of all time, maybe my favorite whiskey of all time at the time. Of course, a week later, I tried the 13th, 15th, and that became my favorite whiskey of all time. And then I tried the Russell's 15 later that year, and that became my favorite whiskey of all time. So this is what happens when you're in exploratory phase. You keep trying different stuff, and you're like, wow, this blows my mind, and I love it. Anyways, I want to revisit this on this Friday night. And I want to compare it to Batch 3. I was not able to get a bottle of the Batch 3. I got a sample of it. I paid, I think, around $55 for this sample. It's a 2-ounce sample. So relatively pricey because the bottle is only supposed to be, what, around $200, right? So anyways, the purpose of tonight, other than just to have a nice pour on a Friday night, is to see if the Batch 3 is anywhere near as good as Batch 2, and also if the Batch 2 is as good as I remember it, and whether I should, go out and try to procure more before they become impossible to find. I mean, Batch 2 already is going for, I think 700 or so on secondary. Maybe it's come down a little bit, but like probably not. The Batch 2 is slightly cheaper. I think it goes for around maybe $5.25, something like that. So about maybe $200 cheaper. I have heard that Batch 3 is better. I think I need to put a little bit more in here. Let's see. We'll put number 1 on Batch 3, and we'll put number 2 on Batch 2. So, as usual, we will nose them first, give some notes, taste, give some more notes, tell you my preference, tell you which one I think is which, and then, we'll do the review. All right. There's something really deep, dense, and syrupy about these. It does tend towards artificial flavors, though. It just doesn't feel like you should get that from a regular oak barrel. It's just too sweet, and the brown sugars and the syrupy sort of taste smells are extremely dense. It's truly an amazing nose. It's something what I call the Southern Sweet Oak. All right, going to the second one. Wow, this one is even more so. They definitely have the same DNA, but this one is even deeper, darker, and more sweet. And it has those perfumey vanilla notes that are just really, really great. All right, I'm gonna taste the first one. That is so rich, and my mouth is still watering. It's wow, extremely rich, just really sweet, bit of chocolatey notes, sort of a maple syrup mixed with honey. The oakiness actually does a really good job of balancing the sweet flavors. Just a really, really rich pour, yeah. Still lingering on and on. Okay, perfect. That's really great. Okay, let's go to the second one. This one is visibly more dense in the glass than this one. It's hard to see probably on camera, especially because my light is not good. I'll try to get some shots of it after the fact, but it's noticeably thicker than the other one. And that's not necessarily a good thing. It almost comes across as it has sort of, artificial flavoring in it, because you feel like there's some solid particles in it. That's how thick it is. And the legs are still running down the glass and extremely visible. It's kind of crazy, how thick and viscous it is. And I've noticed that when this spills on the bottle, you get a little like white residue that's left over. It's obviously there was a lot of controversy around whether they are adding additives to this, and they categorically denied that. But yeah, it's just it feels really really thick. Whatever the second oak barrel was, it must have had something in it. It does tend more towards dark chocolate as well because of that like thick. The oak in this is more, and it gets a little bit of bitters. Not in a bad way at all. Actually, they really complement the sweets. So there's probably more to pick apart in this. It's bolder, but this is no slouch either. Noticeably less viscous though. Significantly less viscous. Yeah, it doesn't have the same thickness. It's actually like sort of a cross between the double oak and the 13th, 15th. It's really good, but I think if I wanted to have one that is more unique and really hits with a strongest punch possible, then this would be it. And I'm guessing this is going to be the batch 2. So those are my predictions and my notes. Let's go and do the reveal. And this is number 1. Yeah, okay, so I'm right, and this is going to be number 2. Yep, good. Okay, so for sure, the new the batch 3 is a pretty damn good bottle. I think 525 is probably justified. I probably, given that the 13th, 15th is now going for 425, I'd be more happy to pay like around the same price for it. I think it's a good substitute for that, maybe. Not really, actually, because I think the 13th, 15th has a different orthogonal set of flavors. This is kind of in between those two, so I can see why anyone would prefer this or prefer that, and this is kind of like in between. So it's good. I'd be probably happy paying closer to that, the secondary for that. This has got just way out of affordability range, so I don't think I'll be backing it up. So I better savor this one, I guess. And by the way, I heard that the new batch 3 that's coming out, the batch 4 that's coming out, is going to be a hazmat. So for sure, that's going to be already like insane in secondary. And they have such a small distribution that's the only way for me to acquire it is really by secondary pricing. I'm no longer a BR Pro Steelbox member because they used to give preference to their Pro members for winning these bottles. But the last 2 draws that they did, I didn't win anything, so I just think they've kind of diluted their BR Pro membership. So it's just not worth it for me anymore to remain a member, especially because I have so many bottles that I don't want to buy random bottles. So if I really need a bottle now, I just gotta pay secondary, I guess. Anyways, I'm rambling on. I think if we're thinking about these two, for sure, I think batch 2 is the better whiskey here. It's more complex, thicker, overall, like a more interesting experience. The batch 3 is also pretty good, but just not the same complexity, not the same thickness. So, all right, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next time. Cheers.